Hey, what's up, everybody? So here it is. It's week 3. So this is going to be the week 3 recap video. So today is actually day 21, and I'm super excited. I made it this far. I'm feeling great. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell notification. You'll get all my updates when I do put out a video, including these weekly recaps. So it's day 21. I feel fantastic still. So there's like no inflammation in my body. Like my joints feel good. The mental clarity is still there. I do get a little fatigued every now and then, but to the point where I wouldn't go running or I wouldn't, lift heavy weights right now. But my normal day-to-day activities of going out and selling 50 West beer, unaffected. So there haven't really been any weird things lately when it comes to teeth sensitivity's gone. I don't really taste anything metallic any longer in my mouth. The weirdest thing is my dreams. So I am dreaming about food almost every night, which is kind of funny because it's something I typically wouldn't dream about. But I heard that's a survival technique. I think it was on NPR last week on Hidden Brain. It was just talking about you're gonna concentrate on the one thing that's lacking in your life. So right now it's food. So literally every night, I've had dreams about pasta. I've had dreams about gummy worms. And I think I wake up, or I wake myself up some days actually chewing, because I do miss chewing. So in the middle of the night, I'm having a dream about eating something and I'll start chewing, and I'll wake myself up from that. I also wanted to talk about how bombarded we are as a culture when it comes to food and food advertisements and just mentions of food. I want to challenge you all to take 5 minutes of your waking day. So, obviously not before you go to bed or, when you first wake up, but just 5 minutes during the day, and keep track of exactly how many mentions you see of food, of whether it's a radio ad, a TV ad, if you're driving, how many restaurants you pass by. It's really ridiculous. I know I'm hypersensitive right now when it comes to food, but it's pretty crazy how much food and food advertisements we see on a daily basis. We are bombarded with them. I would reckon to say that we at least see one every minute of our waking life. So on average, that is. So it's pretty crazy. So just take 5 minutes and keep track of how many food references in your life you see. I think you'll be surprised. So I am a little nervous about traveling. So I'm going to be traveling soon. I'll be out in Denver for a whole week. So I'll be there for the Craft Brewers Conference. So I'm worried about the elevation change in Denver, and I'm worried about being up in an airplane, just kind of how it's going to affect my body and how I'm going to feel. That's part of this journey, is learning about myself and learning about my body and challenging it. So that's going to be just another thing that I'm going to have to overcome and figure it out as I'm experiencing it, and hopefully learn a little bit about myself. So speaking about learning and challenging yourself, so I'm going to do something cool this week. My boss, the owner of 50 West and founder Bobby Slattery, bought me a gift card to Towel. It's a float salon for Christmas this year. I haven't used it yet because I wanted to do it during this experience for a very specific reason. So this is one of those sensory deprivation tanks. So, it's an enclosed pod where no light can get in, no sound can get in. Obviously, there's no smells in there. The water inside is 98.6 degrees, which matches your internal temperature. So you don't feel anything either. And then it's salted, so you actually float. So it's like a anti-gravity effect as well. So you actually have no senses in this entire thing. So I'm going to use that to meditate, and I want to meditate and I want to confront my hunger head on. So today's day 21, and that's when everyone talks about, breaking a habit or starting a new habit. So I wanted to wait till I got to this point before I did the sensory deprivation, because I wanted to be in that mind frame of breaking a habit and breaking an addiction to food. So my thought is I'm going to go into this tank and I'm going to meditate for an hour. I'm going to feel, the only thing I should be able to feel is going to be I'm going to hear my thoughts, and I'm going to feel hunger. So I'm going to really use this to get in touch with my hunger and know how to spot it in the future, and maybe come to an understanding with it that it's not going to control me any longer. I have found out that, since doing this, that hunger is not really in your stomach. So, when you feel hunger pains or you feel like your stomach's growling, I'm telling you right now, that's not hungry. I haven't eaten in 21 days. Hunger, when it comes on, and it does come in waves, comes in your throat. So it actually will you'll get a tightness in your throat, and then the back of your throat as well. That's when you know you're hungry. This stuff that we mess around with on a daily basis, where we say, oh, I'm starving right now, I'm hungry, my tummy just grumbled. I'm telling you right now, that's not real hunger. I want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine, Chris Beck, with Beck Law Offices up in Beaver Creek, Ohio. So Chris specializes in defense, and he does a lot of DUI defense, and he does a lot of drinking and driving education, and what it means to be impaired. So he actually so in his law practice, he uses these blood alcohol content monitors, and they're like a professional grade. So he's given me one for the duration of Lent, so that if I'm ever out in public and I have a beer, I can test my blood alcohol before I get in the car or get behind the wheel, or before I call my Uber. So a lot of people keep asking me about just being a beer geek and what a beer geek even means. Like, what does that mean, Del? What does it mean being a beer geek? So I figured the best way to do this is to show you some pictures. So I'm going to show you some various photos in my life, and show you that, what exactly it means to be a beer geek. So part of that is just like my day-to-day, like my house, right? So whether it's, the art on my walls, the soap in my bathroom, the towel I use, all those things. So I'm going to show you pictures and label them, just some pictures of my life about what it means to be a beer geek. So as you can see, there's a lot of fun things involved with being a beer geek as well. It's not about just drinking all the time, or being a beer snob, which I don't consider myself a beer snob. It's something completely different than a beer geek. But it's some of those things are fun. It's fun to incorporate it into a lifestyle, and that's what I think a beer geek is. It's not just it's not about drinking beer all the time. It's just about beer as a lifestyle, and I'm fortunate enough to make beer my living. Beer pays my bills, and it's fun to be in the beer industry as a whole. So I guess you guys want to see my weigh-in video for this week as well. So here you go. I'll go ahead and play the weigh-in video this week. So there you go, 26.7 pounds for the week. So it's day 21, and almost down 27 pounds. So going into this, I thought that I might lose like 35, maybe 40 pounds. At this rate, I think that I might end up maybe like 50 pounds weight loss. So, and doing the calculations based on body fat percentage, so where I started, and just now being at 37% body fat, basically 25 pounds of that was all fat. So literally almost 100% of what I've just lost in these 21 days has been pure fat. So speaking of drinking beer, I am going to pay respect and homage to another Doppelbock today. So this is the Münchener beer, the Maximator. So this is out of Munich, and I'm actually going to drink it in my my glass from CBC last year, from the Craft Brewers Conference. So I think Grandstand was giving these out. They give them out every year. This was the one from last year. So like I talked about, I'm going to be at CBC all week in like 2 weeks in Denver, and I hope to see a lot of you out there. And cheers.